How to get over rejection the fast way. Hello, welcome back to Keep Calm, Margot. Rejection hurts, whether it's being turned down for a date, ignored after putting yourself out there, or flat out told no. It stings in a way few things do. And here's the kicker. Your brain literally processes rejection the same way it processes physical pain. That's why heartbreak feels like someone punched you in the chest. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't the end. It's actually the beginning of something better if you know how to flip it. In this video, we are going to break down why rejection feels so brutal, the psychology behind it, and most importantly, how to get over it fast. Stick around because I'll also share a surprising mental trick that can turn rejection into rocket fuel for your confidence. Why rejection hurts so much. Let's start with the obvious. Rejection feels personal. If someone says it's not you, it's me, our brain instantly translates that into nope, it's you. But here's where science steps in. Neuroscientists have found that rejection activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the same part of the brain that processes physical pain. In one study, people were shown pictures of ex-partners who had rejected them lit up the exact same neural pathways as someone getting burned or injured. In other words, your brain doesn't just think rejection hurts, it literally hurts. That's why no amount of just get over it feels satisfying, because biologically you are experiencing real pain. But here's the thing, what actually prolongs that pain isn't the rejection itself, it's the story you tell yourself afterward. The stories we tell ourselves. Here's what happens after rejection. Your mind goes into overdrive. You start replaying conversation, analyzing texts, and convincing yourself that you weren't funny enough, tall enough, successful enough, or whatever enough. But let me ask you this. If someone doesn't like your favorite band, do you suddenly think your favorite band is worthless? No. You just accept they don't shape your taste. Rejection works the same way. It's about compatibility, not about worth. There is a saying I love. Sometimes rejection is redirection. It's life nudging you away from something or someone that wasn't meant for you. But knowing this is not enough. How do you actually stop replaying the rejection in your head on a loop? The fast reset button. Here's where we shift gears. The fastest way to get over rejection isn't to sit and think about it. It's to break the cycle. Step 1. Get perspective. Write down what happened, how you feel, and what you are telling yourself about it. Often seeing your thoughts on paper makes them less intimidating. Step 2. Move your body. This might sound cliché, but exercise is scientifically one of the fastest ways to regulate your mood. When you exercise, your brain releases endorphins and boosts serotonin and dopamine levels. These are the same neurotransmitters that get depleted after rejection. In fact, MRI scans show that physical activity not only reduces stress, but actually builds new neural pathways that improve emotional resilience. So when you work out after rejection, you are not just distracting yourself, you are literally rewiring your brain to handle pain better. Step 3. Interrupt the loop. Rejection has a sneaky way of replaying itself in your mind, like that one song you hate but can't get out of your head. The fastest way to break it is with action. Call a friend, dive into a hobby, or do something that reminds you that life doesn't revolve around this one no. But there is even a bigger shift you can make, one that doesn't just heal rejection but actually turns it into power. Turning rejection into power. Every rejection you face is actually the proof that you are in the game. Think about it. Who never gets rejected? The person who never tries. Some of the most successful people in the world built their careers on rejection. J.K. Rowling has turned down by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Michael Jordan famously didn't make his high school basketball team. Rejection wasn't their ending, it was their training ground. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset shows that people who view rejection and failure as feedback rather than final judgment actually build stronger neural connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex. This area is linked to problem solving and resilience, so scientifically, each rejection is like a mental workout. It literally strengthens your brain. But what about when the rejection feels personal, like when it comes from someone you really truly wanted? That's the hardest one. When it's personal and still hurts. Let's be real, some rejections cut deeper than others. If it's someone you genuinely liked or maybe even loved, getting over it fast feels almost impossible. Here is the truth: you have to allow yourself to grieve. Suppressing it doesn't work, but self-destructing doesn't either. The trick is controlled grieving, giving yourself time to feel it, but also setting limits. One of the worst traps people fall into is chasing closure. You think if you just get one more conversation, one more explanation, you'd finally move on. But closure is a myth. Most of the time, the answers don't make the pain go away. They just keep you tied to the story. And let me say you this: do not, under any circumstances, tag their Instagram. That's like picking at a wound and wondering why it won't heal. So, how do you move on when your heart is still attached? You borrow perspective from your future self. The future you perspective. Here's the trick I use. Picture yourself 6 months from now. Imagine you are healthier, more confident, surrounded by people who actually want you in their life. Now picture looking back at the moments of rejection. Chances are future you doesn't even flinch anymore. Why? Because rejection feels massive in the moment, but almost always fades into perspective. That person who rejected you, they become just one chapter in your story, not the whole book. There's a quote I love: "What feels like the end is often the beginning." Rejection isn't proof you are not enough. It's proof that your path is being redirected towards someone or something better. Ultra. So, here's the truth. Rejection is never easy, but it doesn't have to destroy you. It can refine you, it can build you, and if you use it right, it can make you stronger than you were before. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the hardest rejection you've ever faced, and what did it teach you? Drop your story in the comments, because I know you are not alone. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more psychology-backed dating advice, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Because rejection doesn't define you, it refines you. Thank you for being with me on Keep Calm, Margot. See you in the next one. Bye!